I want to play this little report from CNN. It gives a pretty good report.
Killing of United Healthcare CEO. Police have released this. Look at this. This new photos coming in showing the suspected gunman unmasked inside a hostel. Looks like he's smiling right there. This in the Upper West Side in New York City. CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller joins us now. This is a big piece of evidence in this investigation, John.
Well, it's a turning point. You know, we have been asking the metaphoric question, who is the man behind the mask? At least we don't know who is the man behind the mask, but we see the face behind the mask now. And, police worked with these images. This is at a youth hostel, which is on the Upper West Side. They were there yesterday, last night, actually searching a room that they believe the gunman stayed in. They believe this is a picture of him. He kept the jacket on and the hood up and the mask up almost at all times, according to people in that hostel. But there was this moment at the front desk in the lobby where the mask came down, and you see that smile. And this is so far the only image of his face without a mask, the best image police have. And what they said is, even though it's not quality where you would generate a facial recognition image or something that would bring you to a mugshot if he had a record, what it is it's an image that if you knew him, a coworker, a friend, a family member, you would say, that's so-and-so. And that's why they're releasing it right now. They're trying to speed this up by literally crowdsourcing this clue to the general population.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly need the public's help, as it's now been more than 24 hours with this person, the suspect, on the loose. I mean, where do investigators think he is at this point?
All right, these are stupid questions by CNN. How does he know? Look, they're using every investigative technique, every investigative tool at their disposal. A phone was left, I believe, in an alleyway. I mean, it's probably a burner phone, but his DNA, his fingerprints surely could be on it still. They have to process first that cell phone forensically. Apparently, he left a water bottle in Starbucks. That one picture was from Starbucks. And, when we speak about, so many people in this case, and the media has been pushing this narrative, this is a professional hitman. And Phil, you and I both agree, this guy's not a pro. He is absolutely not a pro. What I believe he is he's a corporate terrorist. And for some reason, I don't even know if he had anything against Brian Thompson, the victim in this case. However, Brian Thompson is the CEO of United Healthcare. And that's who he has a problem with. And again, we haven't raised this yet, but on the spent shells that were found on the scene, there was writing on the side of them, and I believe it was deny, defend, depose.
Yep.
I mean, certain news stations reporting different things. To me, that is the work, that is the signature of someone that wants to get caught.
Absolutely, Billy. With the deny, depose, and defend being written on the shell casings, that was a major thing for me, that I kind of categorized him as an anti-insurance company activist, based on the fact that there's a book that was written in 2010 that used almost the same title. I think it was denied, wasn't deposed, and something else, defend, where the insurance companies are denying people health care. People believe that they're entitled to it. Some people get sick and die without the help of the insurance companies. So that's the angle that I think that the NYPD ran with yesterday when they said that they believe they had a motive. Based on those shell casings, I mean, that kind of jumps out at you. That gives you a clear indication of what you believe it is. So is this guy an anti-insurance company activist or a terrorist, like you said, Billy? That's the way it seems to be. That's the direction it seems to be going in. There could be other elements that we don't know just yet, but I'm sure that the NYPD has a very, very good indication of the motive in this case.
I know a lot of you folks in the chat are saying that this is not the same guy. All right. However, the NYPD has determined this is the same guy. All right. So you can argue that, and you're entitled to your own opinion, but the NYPD is telling us this is the same guy.
They're releasing that, and I'm quite certain and I'm comfortable that that is the same guy. And if you look at that picture, he reminds me of the Prime Minister from Canada, Justin Trudeau. If you look quickly at that photo, that's the kind of a facial impression that I get. He looks like he's in his, I would say, mid to late 20s. I'm sure that they have a height and weight based on, there's so many photographs.
They're saying he's about 5'10". He looks
Yeah.
like he's thin, 165 to
Yeah,
180.
thin
maybe.
build for sure. Thin build.
Yeah.
And I would say, would you agree, guys, that late 20s from that picture?
Yeah, I thought so.
Phil, I think. Look, I'm not trying to be go against you. I'd say late 20s, early 30s. Just a little bit more of a room to move there. I think he might be in his 30s. But look, this is a good breakthrough. They have his picture. They have so much evidence. Again, forensic evidence takes time to come back. The other thing is fingerprints. Fingerprints on the phone, potentially. Fingerprints on the water bottle, potentially. Fingerprints on the search warrant of the room that he stayed in at the hostel. Now, those fingerprints, once they collect them, they would go into a database called APHIS. And since Mike Geary is a professor, I'll have him explain what APHIS is.
Billy, hey, thank you very much. APHIS is the automatic fingerprint identification system. A lot of people know it when you see that old TV show in Florida, the crime scene guy, CSI Miami, or that sort of thing. It looks like there's a copy machine. You put a fingerprint in there, and it's flashing all over the place, and they come out with a fingerprint of the perp in 5 minutes, and then they and the show's over.